Hello there, friends on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Whether you're here with us live right now or you're watching the replay, please let us know you're here and say hi in the comments. Would love to hear that you are here. And this gives us a chance to invite you to more events and more opportunities to improve your golf, both on and off the course. So thank you for joining us. Here we continue the journey. We're in week 4 with Christina Thompson tonight. And we continue to have accomplished experts in the golf space, whether it be fit for golf, fitness for golf, mental for golf, or fashion for golf, whatever it might be. We are looking to really lean on some insider insights and secrets to improve our game. And whether you're a weekend golfer or just starting out or just looking to boost your confidence on the course, this is your invitation to grow, to connect, and tee off with a renewed plan. So golf is a game for a lifetime. And unlike any other sport, it spans all generations, whether you're 3 or 100, whether you're centenarian. There's more centenarians out there playing golf, and all life stages. And so it's such an inclusive opportunity, especially for women, especially today, as women in the golf industry and category are continuing to grow. And it's a great platform for growth and personal development, physical, mental, spiritual, and for business. So this whole weekly live stream has been designed to spark powerful conversations around women topics for women who are recreational or amateur golfers. So I'm so glad you're here, and we want to make sure that we answer the question, what are the secrets to play and live with more purpose, power, and joy, and break those mental barriers and improve your game both on and off the course. So my name is Tina Hong, Executive Wellness Coach, and I help women with their habits, with their health turnaround, and boosting their confidence with their thinking. So we work on mindset shifts and habit changes on a weekly basis. So I'm so super passionate about women entering the game of golf and using that as a portal for building confidence. So today we have Christina Thompson. So thank you so much. Christina is an old friend from New Jersey. We met a while ago. We were just saying over 10 years ago in New Jersey, the Florham Park area. And she was doing so many entrepreneurial, beautiful things. She had this Park Avenue 9 and Wine group that she was developing, and she built such an incredible community in New Jersey. And I love her because she's so entrepreneurial in the way she thinks, and she's so inclusive, and she's done some amazing things. So I want to share all of those things with you. So welcome, Christina.
Thank you, Tina. I feel so flattered. That was like such a wonderful intro. I appreciate all the flattery.
Well, you are. And, your bio says you are a champion for women in golf. And that is truly what you are. And I think people like you and I and leaders in the category of women supporting women and connecting with women in golf can make a huge difference. So I'm so glad you're here. So I'm just gonna. Do you want to say anything before I fire off any rapid fire questions to you?
I'm here. Tina, thank you so much though for inviting me to do this. I love any opportunity to hop on and chat about women's golf, how it's evolved, and how we as a community can continue to support the growth of the game, whether it is physically or mentally, because as you know, they coexist. They can't exist without one another. So I appreciate the opportunity. So keep doing the good job. I'm a big fan.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks so much, Christina. Christina is the founder of Golf for Her, which is one of the first online boutiques dedicated to women's golf apparel, making fashion-forward styles more accessible to female golfers everywhere. through her Golf for Her Foundation and Mulligan Boutique, and she can share a little bit about that. And now her Golf for Her consulting. She continues to elevate the sport, driving growth and empowerment for women. So I love this. So rapid fire questions. Here we go. Ready?
All right. So I'm going to answer these real quick, right? Okay.
What's your favorite golf club in your bag?
Well, I can tell you what my least favorite club right now, which is my driver. So I think my 4 hybrid is my favorite, my go-to right now.
What's the yardage you get on that?
Ooh, well, that also depends on the day. My 4 hybrids probably 160. So one's my 160 club. So that fills me in. Well, then I'm actually developing a new relationship with my 3-wood. So now that I've sidelined my driver, my 3-wood is now going to have to be my go-to off the tee for a little bit. So yeah. So that's where I am right now.
Your dream course to play?
St. Andrews. I think St. Andrews, I've had the opportunity to play some really great courses over the years, but St. Andrews still is that bucket list course. I've been to St. Andrews. I've walked the course. I've been there, played courses all around St. Andrews. But yeah, St. Andrews, I think if I could just drop a pin and drop me with my bag on the first tee of any golf course right now, it would be St. Andrews.
Wow, that's amazing. What's the best time of year to go there, you think?
I think with St. Andrews, I went in September. I had gone while the Solheim Cup was being played there in 2019, and it was spectacular. The weather was 70 degrees and sunny. So I'm going to guess September, July. I'm sure in time between July and September.
Okay.
I'll take it anywhere. If someone could just pick me up and drop me there and get me a tee time, I'll play if it's snowing. So just the opportunity to play there.
All right. Maybe set up a retreat there, maybe.
Count me in.
Yeah. Pre-round ritual or superstition you have?
I have to say, I don't have I don't have any superstitions about golf. I just show up and hope that I can hit the golf ball. I don't have like my favorite underwear that I wear or, special golf balls with certain, numbers. I don't do all of that stuff. But I would say from a pre-round routine, something I'm really, really, really serious about is stretching. So I really make sure I take time to stretch before I play, whether it's stretching like on the floor and doing like that kind of stuff, or swinging a golf club. I think you're crazy to just get out of your car, go to the tee box and play. I don't think there's anything good that comes out of that. So I'm really making an effort. So from a pre-round routine, stretching is now my new favorite thing to do. So, but I don't have any superstitions though. I wish I did, because that would be fun.
Yeah.
Or psychotic. I don't know.
Stretching is so important. And as you get older, it's like more and more important. I used to go right onto the tee box, but now I know.
I know. No, I don't want to. By the time you warm up, it's like 3 holes in, and I'm already frustrated. So I realize there's things you can do beforehand to minimize that frustration. Yeah.
What is one thing most people don't know about you that we might be surprised to hear about?
I feel like since I've started this business, my life has been quite the open book, because I've shared so much about myself. And if you follow me on any social media, I'm pretty open. And so I don't know if there's anything left on the table. But the one thing that most people, when they do meet me for the first time, they are surprised when I tell them that I'm a 3-time cancer survivor, I guess. I was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer about 18 months after I launched Golf for Her. And then a few years after that, I was diagnosed with stage 1 endometrial cancer. And I have something called Lynch syndrome. So that's something that I get very involved with, like off the golf course, involved with education and awareness for screening for colorectal cancer, as well as helping educate people about what Lynch syndrome is. And you can Google what Lynch syndrome is. We don't want to go into the details on it now, but it's a genetic syndrome that I have. And then I just was diagnosed with melanoma a couple weeks ago. So, but all good. Everything's good. I'm healthy. Everything's good. So no red flags or anything. But all good. So yeah. So I'm 3 times cancer. Yeah, doesn't get easier, but I'm committed.
Yeah, it's a scary thing, but,
It is.
you know, and running a business and being an entrepreneur, that's self-care and taking care really excellent, take care of yourself is so
Yes.
important, whether you're retired or working as a professional, and
Yep.
especially as an entrepreneur, carving that time to actually really get straight with your head and straight with your body is so important.
Yeah. Yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah, you are so beautiful. I just love this. Christina is such a superstar. One of the things I didn't even mention is that she's a contributor for ESPN New York 1050, which is a radio show in New York City, every Sunday
Yep.
at 8 a.m. and it's called On the Tee with Pat O'Keefe. And I've seen her do some little chit chat side stuff, co-hosting with Pat O'Keefe, and that's been really exciting. How long have you been
Yeah.
doing that?
Well, that started back in 2017. I was a good friend of mine, Anita Mark. She's was an ESPN broadcaster. Her, myself, and our good friend John Mascari, who's the head pro up at Alpine Country Club, got together.
Mm,
We're like, let's do something really cool, something different. And yeah, we started off, a very early morning at 6 o'clock in the morning doing a live show. And then it turned into Sunday mornings and podcasts. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. My primary role on that show is to bring everybody up to speed on what's happening on the LPGA tour. So, as people get to know me, or people that know me know that I'm all in on women's golf, and I won't do anything unless I get to share and talk about women's
mhm,
golf as part
mm,
of the golf universe. So yeah, I
mhm,
love getting on there, sharing the storylines that we're following every week, whether it be, if we have players that are going to be going for a grand slam that week, or just bring everyone up to date on the leaderboard and who to follow, and some thoughts on who I think is going to win. So it's a lot of fun. I love talking about women's golf, and especially when it comes to the professional side of the sport. We've got the pro side and then the amateur side, which is the majority of all of us golfers. But, we
mhm.
are part of this whole big, golf world together. So I like to make sure that we talk about what's going on with on the professional tour, because, they need the support too. So I love being a part of that. So it's been a great honor to be a part of the ESPN family,
That's
contributing where
awesome.
I can.
And also, your company, Golf for Her, also sponsors some pro players, right? Or
Yeah, yeah. Over the last 15 years, we've
mm,
sponsored 15 or 16 players, all
wow.
from. So that was always part of the mission of Golf for Her. So Golf for Her, we're an online pro shop for women, right? So it's 100% dedicated to selling golf clothes, right? That's what I
Mhm,
do. Um, and the purpose of that is to be able to create a space for women to feel that they have something of their own, right? Something that's curated just for women. You come to our website, it's 100% for women. But, we always knew that we wanted to help support the athletes as well, young girls coming into the game, and giving them an avenue to have some kind of financial support. And
mm,
so about 15 years ago, I started sponsoring Epson Tour players. One of the first players I worked with was Mallory Blackwelder.
mm,
And then over the years, I had several other players. Up to more recently, I was sponsoring Marina Alex, who had made it onto the LPGA Tour, had a very successful career for 10 years on the LPGA Tour. Players like
mm,
Jane Park, Mo Martin, who's won the British Open, um, Tiffany Joe. I mean, countless, these girls are all fantastic. They all have incredible careers. And I've been so honored and blessed to be a part of their journey. But most
mm,
recently, we have on our Golf for Her team is
mhm,
Maria Fassi and
mm,
Valerie Plata. So Valerie Plata, she's playing on the Epson Tour. She's from Colombia, and she's working towards getting
mm,
her LPGA card. And then
mhm,
Maria Fassi, those that are following golf, she's a name that you may have seen. She was D1 champ back in, I think, 2018.
mm,
She has made it now onto the LPGA Tour. She came in second in the very first Augusta Women's Amateur event. So she
mhm,
lost to Jennifer Kupcho. But
mm,
Maria Fassi is, a force to be reckoned with. She's going to have an incredible career. I'm so excited to be partnering with her and her
mm.
incredible foundation, Fassi's Friends, doing some cool things with her in September. But, the whole mission is, we want to help support the amateur women, who are all of us, and
Mhm.
then also support the female athletes at the pro level who don't really unfortunately get enough support, and to it's just fills in our mission, right? Is to help
Right.
all women. If you pick up
Mhm.
a golf club, we need to stick together. So it's something I'm really proud of, working with those girls, watching them. And then on top of that, if you go to our website and you start looking at some of the brands that we work with, I would say 90% of the brands that we work with are all women-owned businesses, small businesses. And that was always at the root of our mission. When I started this business, the first day I went to the PGA show in 2010, and I was looking for brands to work with. I was blown away at how many women were out there, but weren't given a chance to be at pro shops or in the big box stores. So I'm like,
Mhm.
wait, I'm going to curate this. So it's all coming kind of full circle. It's really exciting to work with women at different levels. So that's why I love getting into. I love talking about women's golf, and it's not
I
just about
know.
the playing of the golf game. It's
Mhm.
the business around it. It's the culture. It's the community. So
I love that. That's exactly why you've been invited to this show and series, and I'm so grateful to have you as my friend. So tell us, in just like quick little highlights, if you can, what your
sure.
journey with golf has been since pre-golf for her business.
Yeah, I will give you the short version of this because it could be a
Okay,
long one. But
yeah,
it honestly, I mean, I actually came into golf a little bit later in life, so my journey hasn't been your typical one. I didn't play golf in high school. Definitely did not play in college, and did not play, while I was, a little kid. Like and golf was never my thing. I always
yeah.
played sports though. Field hockey was my go-to sport, but
Mhm,
really only hit the driving range with my dad. My husband picked up the game after we got married. I was
mm,
27 years old. He, went to a bachelor party that played
mm,
golf. They went to play golf. He came home. He loved it. I took a few
mhm,
lessons. I loved it. I'm like, oh, cool. I get to play golf. It's been years since I was a kid playing field hockey. When you're going through high school, my high school did not have sports that I enjoyed. So I
mm,
never played sports, kind of fell off. So I'm like,
mhm,
oh, golf, this is kind of cool. Let's try this out. And, at first, it wasn't about figuring out the game and trying to feel comfortable on the course, but it became so much more than that really fast. And what surprised me the most is how golf just kind of pulls you in. And it's not just about the game, it's like the people you meet, the community around it, and honestly, the challenge, the way it challenges you and teaches you about yourself and the people that you surround yourself with. So granted, I love playing golf. It was really fun. I'm not a competitive golfer. I absolutely hate playing competitive golf. I don't even like being invited to member guests because I feel like there's so much pressure on that. But I will
mhm.
always take an invitation. So if
Mhm.
you need a fourth, I'm here. I will always play. But I'm just putting that out there. But
Right.
for me, I learned so much about myself, and I just loved being a part of that. And then, on the business side, starting golf for her really opened my eyes to how little was out there for women when it came to styles and options. And my professional background is marketing, and so that was my career path. I love golf clothes. Well, I love clothes in general, and
Mhm,
I was really interested about this golf thing. And I'm like, wow, like I got to pull this all together some way. And I was working in corporate America, and one day I was just like overwhelmed, and I was traveling. I was playing a lot of golf for business and for travel, and which was really great. It was a great opportunity. I mean, I could have a whole conversation about the benefits of playing golf for business. But I
mm.
kind of like had this aha moment because I didn't have any cute golf clothes or any appropriate golf clothes for a golf outing with my boss or something. And I'm like, when I'm done in corporate America, I am starting my own website or my own store for women's golf clothes. And I
Yeah.
remember telling that to my husband. He was like, okay. All right. And then I'm like, no, I'm doing it. There is a need for this. There's a need out there. But,
So
but it was at that point when I was really serious about starting this business, when it really, opened my eyes to it's not only the limitations in fashion, but just that there weren't a lot of women that I could play golf with, or there wasn't any support groups. And it wasn't, you just didn't see a lot of women doing it. And, I never expected it to grow the way it has. And, it's been so cool. And I do. It's been like my favorite part of this journey has been connecting with so many amazing women. and amateurs and professionals. I mean, if this all disappeared today, I would have to say I've had the best 15 years I could ever
Mm,
imagine,
mm,
because it's not about the golf clothes. It's about the impact the impact it's made on women's lives, and meeting women who've started playing this game at different stages in their lives, whether they're a widow or they've been divorced or they've moved from a new community and they don't have someone to connect with. That didn't exist, I mean, 20 years ago, but gosh, over the last few years, it's changed. So I don't know. I mean, getting to me to be here, it's been a lot of building blocks, obviously, to get to where I
mhm,
am now, 15 years later. But I
mhm.
mean, it has been such an incredible journey, hearing women's stories, helping them feel confident on the course, helping them realize that they have a place on the tee box has been really, really important to me. And now, focusing at the junior girls, and seeing them engage in golf. And I'm so excited for the future of golf, because these young girls are being introduced to a game that they're going to carry for their whole entire life. And it's going
Mhm.
to impact them in ways that we haven't even seen, in our generation. So honestly, it's shaped my life in ways I did not see coming, both as a player and as a business owner.
That's awesome. See why we have Christina on. She
I
is
could talk
so
here
much
for 2
about
hours.
empowering women, and she always has been ever since the minute I met her, and she was always doing just amazing things. Tell us a little bit about your foundation. And I know
Yeah.
you were supporting one of the pro players, Grace. No, Grace is
Jane,
the
yeah.
Jane. Yeah,
So Jane,
yeah.
going back to what I was saying before, so I've sponsored several LPGA players in the past,
Mm-hmm.
and it's through apparel sponsorships. But I've been very lucky that I always said that this is my sponsorship and support for them will be evergreen, beyond the
Mm-hmm.
golf course. So a few years ago, back in 2020, Jane Park, which is LPGA Tour player, was in the middle of a tournament. Had her daughter with her in July of 2021. Dropped her off at daycare while she headed out to the course to compete that day. Came back. Long and short of it is, her daughter started having seizures. Go to the hospital. Uh, Due to the number of seizures and the oxygen deprivation that she experienced during that time, she ended up with severe brain damage, irreversible brain damage.
Mm-hmm.
Jane had to immediately retire, obviously, from her professional career, and was very uncertain about what was happening with Grace. It was a very scary time for Jane and her husband Peter, who's a caddy on the LPGA tour,
Mm-hmm.
and so myself and Marina Alex decided, like, listen, let's rally together and let's do something for Jane. We have to raise money. I mean, this is going to be a big deal for her. So anyway, long and short of it is, we started our signature fundraising event called Saving Grace. We've had
Mm-hmm.
3 major, major, major fundraising events where LPGA players come out to a local facility here in New Jersey. When the tour comes to New Jersey, we like to host it during that. Usually it's during Founders
Mm-hmm.
Cup around Mother's Day. And
Mm-hmm.
we've had players come out, and patrons are able to purchase tickets to come out and mingle with the players, bid
Mm-hmm.
on some incredible donated gifts that we get from the golf community. They get to play with the players in the simulators and try to, beat Nelly Corda at closest to the pin, and just kind of have like a really fun, casual, unintimidating kind of way. And so the last one we hosted was in Caldwell, at the clubhouse in Caldwell, and we had 44 LPGA players come out. All of the top names, all the names from Lexi Thompson came out, Michelle
Oh,
Wade, Paula Creamer was there, and then you had
wow.
all the new. It was fantastic. We raised tons of money on that, so we were really proud. 100% of the proceeds go to Jane. So we've raised a significant
Wow.
amount of money for Grace, but unfortunately, her care doesn't end. So we have a lot of other programs that we put together. We have items that are on our Golf for Her Mulligan boutique that people can purchase, and 100% of those proceeds go directly to the Saving Grace fundraiser. And we'll be hosting a few more events next spring when the tour comes back to
Yeah.
the area.
So
So
tell everybody what Golf for Her Mulligan site is. What is that?
okay. So
Mhm.
golfer.com is our true boutique website. That's our business there. But part of this collective is, we realize that golf clothes are expensive. It could be cost prohibitive for a lot of women to play, because there's access to affordable golf clothes is sometimes hard, and then you're you're limited to where you're going to shop, and then you end up shopping at places where the quality of clothes not the best. And I can go into a whole conversation about that. But the Mulligan Boutique we also realized that there's an abundance of golf clothes in our closets right now that are perfectly fine. And golfers have a lot of golf clothes. And so we decided to start a Mulligan Boutique where we have collected donations from the golf community, all pre-owned merchandise that you can donate to the golfer Mulligan Boutique. We've also worked with some of our design partners. They're donating some of their overage in merchandise that they have that they can't sell, and they don't want that to go into, the third market and sold online, and for a myriad of reasons for that, obviously. And then all the items that are on the Golf for Her Mulligan Boutique, 100% of the proceeds from the sale of those items goes directly to funding the Golf for Her Foundation. So we use that as our ongoing fundraising tool to raise money for our foundation. And then the foundation itself has 3 very specific missions, all around supporting women and children and families. So first is we raise money so we can provide scholarship support for girls in sports, not just golf, although we would love more girls to play golf, but we want them to play sports. So we have scholarship programs for girls in sports that's across the country. Then the second is to help support moms, families that have had financial hardships, catastrophic, events that have happened, whether homes have burned down. And then the third category is aligning ourselves with other foundations within the golf community that are aligned with our mission to help support those. So we support like Morgan Pressel's foundation, Maria Fossey's foundation. So we're able to help their foundation. So, we're doing our best to kind of raise as much money as possible so we can help different areas and do our best to give back.
Collaborate and partner with other foundations and, create more of a mass impact, which is awesome. Your vision is so big, Christina. Your vision is so big. Your heart is so big. You care about people. You're so fun. I mean, if you ever golf with Christina, she's just so fun. And she really
talk to you. I'm gonna call you every morning, Tina, for the motivation in the morning when I wake up. I'm like, Tina, tell me.
So cool. So yeah, Christina has a really big vision, and where is this all going to go in 10, 15, 20? Where would you love to see all of this go? What kind of impact do you if it was a singular impact, what would that be?
I want women and girls to feel that they are seen and that they are 100% of what they want to be, that they don't have to be a small percentage of what their big vision of their life needs to be. And I think creating opportunities where it's focused on women, in golf is a really funny space because it's growing. And we all talk about how golf is growing and how so many more women are growing in the space, but it's still a very small percentage of the population, but it's growing. Is it ever going to be more than the women? Probably not, and it's just because of a lot of different socioeconomic things, I think. But we need to let women know that they have a space. And when they walk into a pro shop and they see 10% of the floor space is dedicated to women, or they go to a club and only a small percentage of the women are there. We're constantly reminded that we're a very small piece of this. But I want to create a community and a movement where you feel like you're 100% of this space and that we are here. And then to be able to connect those women to make sure they have the community or the support around them, and that we don't need to be in this old area where we've kind of always been gravitating to, creating these new opportunities and letting them know we're here. We're here. We're all inclusive and women. And I really want women to feel that to limit their intimidation of starting something new, starting something hard, everything we do is hard, right? There's starting something new is incredibly challenging and scary for a lot of people. But when you have a community around you and a tribe of women, or, have resources like, your podcast, just to realize that I'm not alone. But I would like to see, in 10, 15 years from now, where women have an equal space in here. And whether it's from, getting equal to pay when it comes to athletes, or getting the proper amount, an equal amount of sponsorship dollars to allow women the opportunity to continue playing and not have to decide between having a family and being a professional athlete, and letting women know that golf is for you. I mean, it's if you can show up to the golf course and you have golf clubs in your hand and you know how to book a tee time, like, go play golf. Like this, you deserve to be there. And my goal is to be a part of working with as many people in the community to make sure that happens. We're getting there. We've come a long way.
Yes, absolutely. And we're seeing that happen. And my passion has been, noticing and observing that women are really hard on themselves.
Terribly hard.
They're so hard on themselves. And the minute they hit the tee box, the minute they get to the course, it's like they're, that old saying about women are constantly apologizing.
Constantly.
To be. Yeah.
I tell women this all the time. I will play with, I don't care if the woman doesn't keep score and just use smiley faces and sad faces on your scorecard. I don't care. I will play golf with you. I'm all in. But I think it's just so important to let them know that, that they should be playing and they can be playing, and stop apologizing. When you show up to that tee box, do not go up to the group and say, "Hi, just to let you know, I'm just learning, so I apologize in advance for playing really bad." I will immediately tell you.
Thank you.
And I'm like, you're going to do a shot of Fireball right now every time you apologize. So stop.
Yeah, right.
But we have to stop apologizing. Men don't show up to the golf course and go, "Hey guys, I just want to let you know I'm just learning how to play golf, and I'm probably going to suck, so I'll pick up." Yeah, that never happens.
Yeah, so amazing. Yeah, it's about confidence. It's about trusting yourself.
It is.
And as you advance your game, it's about trusting yourself even more. And
100%.
it's incredibly humbling, the sport, but at the same time,
every day, every time I get up, I get humbled.
It's incredibly humbling, but at the same time, it just show up. You show up that day you're playing. You're showing up for yourself, and you can decide whether to trust yourself and believe in yourself or not. And nobody else is going to tell you otherwise except you. And so coaches like me and others, mental coaches, physical fitness coaches, all of it, I was saying to Christina before we got on is, the pros have holistic teams. They work with a team of experts and supporters, mental coaches, physical fitness coaches, therapy, chiropractic, to help them to be in their best form, to be able to perform at their best. And I really truly believe that is the same whether you're golfing or in life. And we often underestimate the value in that. And we often underestimate that we are in charge as women. We are in charge of making those decisions. And it's not just about choice. It's actually about decision. If you decide, you get up on that tee box, you're going to really, you're going to send it. And you got the feeling of sending it. You're going to send it.
Yeah. No, I've had this conversation almost every time I play golf with somebody else. And, I have a very good friend of mine. I'm not going to say her name because she might be watching at some point, but I don't want to call her out on it. But she started playing golf and she beats herself up, and she'll look at, we'll play, I'll hit a ball and it'll be a decent ball. She's like, and she'll, kind of poo-poo herself. Like, I'm not good. I'm like, no, like, first of all, you just started playing golf. If you can just
Mhm.
if you play golf and you show up for the first time and you're hitting the ball and you're shooting in the 80s, girl, you missed
Mhm.
your calling. You should be on the tour. But no, that happens for nobody. Like
Mhm.
you, if you show up with your husband and you have a good time, don't worry about what everybody else in your group is shooting. Don't worry about if your ball's going 130 yards and everyone else is going 200. Stop worrying about it. Just
Mm,
play your ball, and that's all you can do. You cannot, and that is the game of golf. It is
mm,
not, you're not in competition with anybody but yourself, but you have to remind yourself that I'm going to
mhm,
show up, I'm going to have a good time. This is not paying my bills. This is not making an impact other than the fact that I'm out here challenging myself, learning something new, having a great day in the sunshine, hopefully, meeting new
mhm.
friends, being a part of something bigger, and just at the end of the day, go have a drink or go back to your home or whatever, but enjoy it for what it is and don't make it more than it is, because we put so much pressure on ourselves to be incredibly good at it, and the majority of golfers aren't as good as you think they are, right?
Right,
It's
right.
and women put so much pressure on themselves because we don't want to look foolish. We want to be prepared. We want to make sure that we know all the answers before we, gosh, that is
Yeah.
exhausting.
It is exhausting.
Exhausting. So let's stop,
Yeah.
ladies. Let's stop.
And just feeling it, knowing yourself, trusting yourself. And
Yeah, of
I think that's truly the art of the golf, besides the science and the technical aspects of it.
course.
Once
Right.
once you get some of that down, really it's about you and you out on the
Yeah,
course. And
that's it.
golf is such a parallel to life. You
Totally.
learn so much about somebody when you can observe
Totally.
how they respond to bad shots, or feeling embarrassed, feeling shameful,
Yeah.
or doubting themselves, or really beating themselves up. And
Yeah.
it just all shows up on the course. There's so
It
many
does.
parallels.
It does, and
Yeah.
sometimes you don't realize it. I say to a lot of my girlfriends, we have friends that are going through different stages in their life right now. And some, are whether they're going through a divorce or different, they're pivoting. They've got pivots that are happening in their lives right now. And I'm
Mhm.
like, do me a favor, just learn to play golf. Not for like because I want you to, want to have someone to go play golf with, but use it as a dating tool. So all the girls that are out there listening, and you're in the dating scene, if you learn how to play golf and go out and you meet a guy, and whether you're on an app or in a bar or wherever you meet a guy, I want you to tell them that you play golf, and I want you to book it. I want you to go to the driving range. You don't have to go play golf because, gosh, there's nothing worse than being stuck with somebody on a golf course that you don't want to be with. But maybe go to the driving range. You will learn so much about a person's personality than
Mhm.
anywhere else than you will like on the golf course or at a driving range. If they're hostile, if they're liars, if they're cheaters, if they have a good temperament. Because if I'm playing golf with
Mhm.
a guy and I watch him like drop a ball out of his pocket, big red flag. Because if he's doing that there, I don't know what else he's gonna do. So and it works
Oh,
both ways, right? As a guy, if you're a
mhm.
guy watching this, go out on a date with a girl who plays golf. Let me tell you, you will learn a lot about this person, whether they're insecure, their confidence. There's just a lot that we can learn about others by playing the game. Whether you're in business, you can learn about, is that someone I want to do business with? Is that a person I want to get into business with? So it's
Mhm.
not just about, hey, we're going to go on the golf course and we're going to go sign a deal. Yeah, listen, that's not how it works. Relationships are
Mhm.
built. All that stuff that you hear about business happens. Well, it happens afterwards. It doesn't happen on the golf course, but you learn a lot about a person,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
it's very telling. And I'll tell you
Mhm.
that some of the people that I know, and I know who they are off, outside of golf and the way they play
Mhm.
golf, it
Mhm.
is, it's a mirror.
An exact mirror. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's amazing. Yeah. And yeah, it's so there's a huge difference between men and women playing and showing up for
Yeah,
themselves, like Christina mentioned.
absolutely.
And I just think that because golf is a mirror to your own self, your inner self, and your thoughts, and how you believe in yourself, how you feel about yourself, how you see the world, that it's an incredible portal to actually work on the mental side of things, work on the
Mhm.
emotional side of things. And if you can relate I did a lot of therapy, I think, on the course because, my dad died of cancer before I even could. He walked 18 holes every single day until he couldn't walk anymore. And I never played one single round. I never got into golf until after he died. Isn't
Me
that
too.
crazy?
Me too.
Really? Oh my God,
Mhm.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
Oh
my
my
dad was a big golfer, big time golfer. And I think when I started playing golf, I picked up playing golf in 2000, so 25 years ago. I
mm,
went to a driving range with him a couple of times, got to hit golf balls with him, but he passed away in 2024. I mean,
mm,
2004. And
mhm.
yeah, I didn't get a chance to actually get out onto the golf course with him,
Oh my God, I had
because
no
I was
idea.
too scared. Yeah, so there we go.
That's the same story with me. I've gone to the driving range with a couple times, but he was very ill at the time, and we never got to get out there, and I never really picked it up seriously until afterwards. So that
Yeah.
is so cool, Christina. And I always say to my friends and listeners and clients, I meet my dad on the course out there every single time I play. And that
Oh,
gives me
God.
a special, confidence, special
Yes.
spirituality about it,
I love
and,
it.
yeah, it's just, when I really think about it, that really gives me a lot of, fuel to play better and to really humble myself, and I think humbling
Good.
yourself is part of the growth, to be
Absolutely.
and to be absolute present. So I love that. So I'm so grateful that you're sharing this with me. That's so cool. So what else, Christina? Like you as a force of empowerment for women. You have done so much work already in
Aw.
terms of golf for her. And tell us a little bit about the fashion trends. Tell us what's going on in the fashion
Ooh.
world because our listeners want to know what is happening
Ooh.
in golf fashion. I'm sure you can give us a little bit of a highlight on that. Yeah.
I can give you a little update. It is funny. It's like, we sell golf clothes, but again, golf for her is more than just golf clothes, right? Like that's what we want to
Totally.
do. But
Totally.
yes, you're right. There's definitely some key fashion trends that are happening right now, which are
Mm.
really in alignment with what's happening in the world and how women are approaching the game. So, but golf fashion feels like everyday fashion. I don't know if you've noticed that. We're not seeing many like stiff polos and slacks, pants as the
Polo.
default. What was that?
Polos are so unflattering.
I mean, we've evolved from a polo, today again, I know, listen, I could have a whole nother podcast with you about fashion and go deep, deep, deep on fashion. But what I love seeing is that we do have a younger generation that's finding the sport, right? So the fashion trends that we're seeing pop up are a little bit more youthful in a sense, or maybe have a little bit tie back to streetwear, or
Mm,
are versatile enough where you can wear it to play golf, to play pickleball, to go walking, to go do something. So, we're seeing a lot more hoodies and joggers, which I love joggers. Um, Golf shoes that look like sneakers. Actually, you can't see my feet right now, but I have a pair of Adidas Stan Smith golf shoes on that I actually wear as sneakers because they look and
mhm,
they're so comfortable. But sneakers and shoes that have a lifestyle, design, styles that
mhm.
transition seamlessly from like the golf course to going, to
Hanging
brunch
out
or
with
running
your friends.
errands.
Yeah. Mhm,
The women, we want pieces that work on and off the golf course. So that is a huge trend right now. I think just collectively of what we're starting to see.
mhm.
I use the word quiet luxury meets activewear right now. So we are
Mm,
seeing a lot less loud logos, a lot of less like loud prints and boldness, and more refined silhouettes, textured fabrics, some
mm,
cashmere sweaters, pieces that feel elevated but not flashy.
mhm,
Subtle sophistication is
mm,
gaining a lot of traction. I love, there's a little bit of a retro vibe, country club chic kind of aesthetic that we're seeing.
mm,
Colors that are trending right now are like that, especially going into the fall. We're seeing some
mhm,
rich tones that balance out with some of those warm neutrals like grays and stones and some,
mm,
jewel color, jewel color hues, which are just so stunning from like summer into fall. Performance fabrics, huge trend right now. We're starting to see everything now. Everything has moisture wicking, 4-way stretch, built-in UV protection. None of that like cheapo, like sprayed on UV stuff that you get, for $20 on Amazon. So style isn't sacrificing comfort or function. And, so that's kind of what we're seeing like in the big picture as far as like what's happening. And listen, women's participation is up, I think like 40%. I don't know, some kind of crazy number in the last like 6 years, right? And I think brands and golf club manufacturers are responding to it, travel, gear, everything's becoming more female friendly, and it's that ripple effect is impacting fashion so much. So it's really cool to see
that is
happening
cool.
right now.
Are they coming out with more petites? Because when I first started playing golf, everything was like so long on me. It'd be like, this doesn't fit me right. This shirt is like way down to my knees.
No, because you are petite, and I'm on the other side of that ruler. I'm 5'10", right. So I'm always like, where is everything? But what's really kind of fun is we're meeting in the middle a little bit. But the designers are finally hearing that. So again, it's like golf skirts. It's like I've written so much. I've had so many conversations about the golf skirt, about what's the proper length for a golf skirt, and if it's not a number, right? It's how it fits on you. But designers, because there aren't historically a ton of women in the golf space, they just had a golf skirt, right? And it was always 18 inches. 18 inches on you is completely
it's
different.
So long. It's like down to my knees.
It's ridiculous. So you look foolish and it's uncomfortable, and you feel like crap because you feel like you're like, what am I wearing? Right. So designers are starting to hear us, because myself and others have been screaming, like, you can't, we have to get out of that pink it and shrink it, that one size fits all for women, right? We are very difficult customers, but we want women to feel comfortable on the golf course. We don't want them to wear clothes that are stiff and uncomfortable, and you can see the sweat stains and the sweat. Like, it's just it has been awful. But what's happening now is that designers are hearing us collectively, and they're designing styles, especially skirts, some of them in 2 lengths, but some of them now in 3 lengths, where you have a shorter active length, and it's only because it's like a 15-inch, maybe 14, 15-inch. Then you've got your classic, which is like your 16 to 18-inch. And then you've got the women who do need something a little bit longer, whether it's a body confidence reason or just height reason. Skirts are going up to 20 inches. So it's happening, and there are petite brands, but it doesn't have to be petite. We're given more options than we've ever had, and they are there, and they're in abundance. You just have to know where to look, and that's kind of golf for her. We're curating all that, and we have them all.
Yeah. What about oversized? I'm curious about oversized, because I can't imagine like it again, if you're oversized, if you're in an X size, are there manufacturers? You go to the PGA show every year. What's coming out for those women?
So I call it's all extended sizes, right? So we have extended sizes. We work with brands that have from XX small all the way up to 3X and 4X. And so I think more and more, it gets a little tricky, it gets challenging, because there's not a lot of small 2Xs, and there's not a lot of extended sizes, right? So you have to be able to find the mix in there. And there are some designers that are focusing on those extremities, right? Those really small sizes, and then the XLs, the plus sizes, because every woman deserves to feel confident in whatever they're wearing, right? So more and more designers are. So the brands that we carry do go up to 2XL and 3XL. And more and more brands are offering in the 3XL, and which is so exciting, because in the fall of this year, we have 3 brands that we've been carrying for a long time. They're extending it out to size 20s right now. So so 3X and 20s are up there. So yeah, they're there, and it's getting better. And I know it's incredibly hard, and I wish I was a designer, and I wish I could make that happen and flip the switch for it. But the more and more we show up and we say that we need it, the more designers are starting to listen, and
absolutely.
Yeah,
that's great. That's awesome. I mean, literally, I used to have to take up my skirts and get it taken in just to fit
It's
correctly.
hard.
It's like, oh my God, this is costing me
It's
more money.
hard. Well, and I think we're and then you don't feel good, right? When you put something on, like there's nothing better than when you get your hair done, you got a new pair of shoes, you got a new outfit. You are like you glow, right? And we want women to feel that way on the golf course too. And I do a lot with like a lot of fashion shows and a lot of stuff like that. And podcasts, and we talk about dressing for your body type too, right? Because you see models, you see all these women on social media or whether it's on websites, and you're like, oh, I wish I could wear that. Well, you should probably, if it's not for your body type, it's not going to look good, right? And we want to help you, guide you to picking the right product and the right styles for your body type that you will walk out going, oh, all right, I feel good about myself, and I'm wearing the clothes aren't wearing me. So it's really important. We're changing. I'm really fighting for us, ladies.
And I love that you offer that kind of consultation through Golf for Her, that you have a team of experts that are your staff and your team who can guide people. So it's so hard to find something online and know the quality, the fit. I mean, what do you say about that? What would you recommend about that?
Well, okay, so there's so many brands that are out there. I mean, probably more than ever. There's so many new brands that are out there, and you have to find one that fits you. And not everything's gonna fit. There's certain brands that are not cut for you, and that's okay. Like, stop trying to wear the trends. Like, stop doing it. It is never gonna work. It's just not worth it. But what our team does is we have an opportunity. You can always reach out to us. If you need some time, we schedule some time with our customers. If you have like a specific need, if you're looking, you're petite, you need help with, you're tall, you have, your boobs are big, your butt is big, your waist is like, we are like a myriad, right? We have women come in all shapes and sizes, and there's something for everyone. So, shopping online it gets a little tricky because there's a lot of brands there. So that's why, like, at Golf for Her, we try to curate a nice selection to kind of narrow it down. Like, there's a lot of noise right now in the women's golf space, and a lot of it's going to go away, and a lot will be enduring. But our goal is to curate, like, this is a little bit of everything that you need, because there's a lot of stuff out there right now.
I love that.
Our team will absolutely help you narrow down a brand, and then once you find a brand, stick with that brand, and there's variations. So I love helping. That's like my favorite thing to do is like help a woman find the right skirt, the right fabric. And we really do. I think we try to communicate exactly the color, the fit, your recommendations for each of the products. It gets a little tricky, but we're always there to do it. So
I'm going to open it up to any questions out there in the viewer world. Do you have any questions for Christina about any part of this interview that you might be curious about? If you have any questions, put it into the comments. We can see your comments and let us know you're here. And we see that Michelle's here, and she actually won the book giveaway from Tim O'Connor last week, which is so cool. Getting Unstuck. That's a really good book, by the way, Christina. It's really good. You should check it out. Any questions from the viewers?
Ooh. Yeah. What else we should share? Is there anything we should share about anything?
What should we share? Well, I wanted to share. Well, one thing I want to share is I am hosting a retreat on Kiowa Island, South Carolina this fall, September 28th, for 4 days, 3 nights. We have a custom golf clinic doing the short game, bunkers, putting, and wedges. For a whole session on one of the days. We're playing 2 private exclusive courses on Kiowa Island, which are incredibly amazing. Yeah, they're just spectacular. It's like awe-inspiring, actually. It's not the ocean course, but these are 2 exclusively private courses that we're members at, and basically you're invited. And I want you to reach out to me and ask questions about it. The stay is amazing cottages on the course. And Kiowa Island is, if you haven't been there, is a gated community. It's a gated island. So you have to, you have to have a place to stay and go in order to come onto the island. But I would love to host you. We're going to have mindset and meditation. We're really working on building your confidence, both on and off the course, and working out our thinking, working on our mindset, and believing in ourselves and trusting in ourselves a bit more. Whether you're just getting started or you're an advanced player, this is going to be amazing. So there's a fall retreat and there's also a spring retreat in March. So if you're curious about it, please send me a direct message and let me know. And I'd love to fill you in about that. And I would love to host you. So I would love to play with you. I would love to host you. So what about you, Christina? What you got going on?
We got a lot going on. There's always so much going on. Just,
next.
follow us. You can, anyone who's interested, we have a lot going on. We're always sharing tips, always sharing activities, events that are going on. Follow, like if you're on we don't really do Twitter, but if you're on Instagram or Pinterest or TikTok or Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever it is, look for Golf for Her and follow along. And if you ever have questions, you can just, hop on social. We're always there to ask questions. But yeah, follow along. We're always posting like fashion tips, what's new in golf fashion, what's happening in women's golf. We're always sharing different things, trying to motivate you, inspire you. And, if I could just add like a final word of encouragement for the ladies that are out there. I know we're running out of time. We have like 4 minutes. I'll make this fast. But, if you've been thinking about trying golf, just go for it. Don't wait until you feel ready or until you think you've got the right outfit or all the rules. None of that matters. I've seen firsthand how this game can change the way women see themselves, right? So, golf has this quiet way of building your confidence without you even realizing it. And one round turns into two. And before you know it, you're walking taller, trusting yourself more, making better decisions, feeling proud, what your body and mind can do. You may even find yourself with a career in golf. I never planned this, but here I am, right? So, and if you ever feel unsure or out of place, know and remember you are not alone. And that's honestly one of the biggest reasons I started Golf for Her. I wanted to create a space where women could feel seen and supported from their very first swing. So if you're listening, if you're watching and you've been on the fence, this is your sign to give golf a shot. Okay. So there you go. That's my final word of encouragement.
That is terrific. If you're just getting started, give golf a shot. And if you are an advanced or intermediate player, level up, bring the team around you, bring the community around you, and lean into that community so you can really play and live with more purpose, with more passion and power and joy. And break those mental barriers that we have, because we all come across those. If you need support around this, find the people. Reach out to me. I'm happy to recommend. I'm happy to send you to the right people like Christina, when she's doing these fabulous events and all of that. And I would love to share more about your events coming up in the spring and all that. Your fundraising events, which sound fabulous. I keep missing them, but they are just spectacular, crazy. And I hope to see some of you in Kiowa Island, South Carolina, either this fall or in the spring. And definitely hit me up if you need some more information about that. Thank you, Christina. You are
Thank you, girls.
Love you. You're so freaking awesome. All right. Well, so power on, girls, and get playing and build your confidence and love yourself more every single day. We'll see you soon. Thanks again. We'll see you next week.